Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Hi, what's up? My name is Vani the girl and I am a content creator that creates content around tarot reading, personal development, mental health and all of those things and a few vlogs here and there. So if you're interested in something like that, make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so that you do not miss another video from my side because I upload every Saturday. In today's video, we are going to talk about what I learned in therapy or what therapy taught me. And if you just want to jump right into the video, timestamp down here so you can just jump forward. But if you want to stay and you want to know why am I making this video and how long I've been into therapy and all of that, so just keep on watching. I got diagnosed with depression in 2018 and I've been on and off meds since then. I have also been on and off doctors since that time, and almost around the year 2020, I found this great psychiatrist who actually gave me homeopathic medicine and who also was not exactly a very good therapist, but yeah, she would listen to me, she would make it comfortable for me and safe for me. So it felt really good. For 6 months, I was doing that. And then I went to another psychologist in Pune itself, and she's the one that I have almost from a year now, I think so. My depression and anxiety are really severe. So she did tell me that I need to go and get meds and all of those things, but I was just not sure about it because let's face it, India is not very aware or developed when it comes to mental health and psychology and all of those things. For me, honestly, I'm a huge fan of therapy because therapy did work for me. It did take its own time, I'll say that. As I said, I was diagnosed in 2018 and now in 22, I found the right psychologist for me. Okay, so it does take that much time, and the only thing is that when your friends and your family and people around you don't exactly have good suggestions or advice for you, that's when I basically stepped into therapy. That's when I thought that okay, now is the time for me to go to therapy and get to a doctor because this is like kind of getting out of hand. I cannot find solutions anywhere. So that's when I went to therapy. Now I've heard and I know this because I've been there, done that therapy does not work good for people in the start because you are still trying to figure out how it works. Not everybody talks about going to therapy, and there's so much of stigma around it that there is this bias in your own head. And when you step into therapy, you are actually stepping with so many expectations that this psychologist or this doctor will heal me in one sitting, which is so false. It is so not true. It takes time, and the reason why it takes time is because you are working on yourself with the help of this doctor. Okay, and they are not your friends, they are just a doctor. It's a trained professional who is trained to sit and listen to what you have to say and help you navigate through your emotions in a healthy way. And that's what some people don't understand about therapy, that it does take time. People walk into therapy with so many expectations that one session and I'll be like good to go. It does not happen like that. It needs patience. You need to do the work after the therapy session as well. So this is just a simple context that I'm giving you guys. I have been into therapy for so many years. I've been on meds as well. Now I am not on meds because I don't even want to talk about medicine in this video because that's a whole different ball game altogether. But at the same time, because I feel that when it comes to medicine, there are so many misconceptions out there. Let's not talk about medicine. When we are actually going through some shit in life, some serious shit in life, we think that if we talk to somebody about it, they won't understand what we're feeling. And we think that we are the only people who are going through it. But actually, the reality is way different than that. There are a lot of people out there who can support you: friends, family, support groups, Facebook groups, Instagram accounts, all of those people, especially with social media on the hype right now. There are so many connections that you can make based on the problems you're having. That's actually one of the things that therapy taught me, that I'm not alone in anything. I don't have to worry about it. I can still get support from outside, and there are a lot of other people who are in the same boat as me. But that does not mean that I always have to go to them for solving my problem, because at one point, as I said before, I have to work on myself, for myself, and by myself. So I need to do the things as well. I need to do the work. But if I cannot do the work, or if I'm not able to do the work, I can easily go to someone else for help. The second thing I learned in therapy is that whenever I felt like I wasn't able to do something, or I felt a bit lost, or I felt a bit confused, I started to search for meaning outside of myself. I started to search for meaning in my connections with my family or my friends, or hanging out with people, or talking to someone, or in love, or in my career, or my goals, and all of these things. I started to search happiness in these things, and therapy over the time taught me this thing, that I can still sit here and feel happy about however my life is going, irrespective of the fact that is my career okay, is my family okay, are my friends doing okay, or whatever it is. I can still feel happy. And happiness is like, I think we are trying to put happiness in such a big box. I think happiness is such a huge word, and it has so many meanings, but we just think that happiness means that when you have everything on track, or when everything is going smoothly in your life. But I totally disagree with that. I mean, yes, it is fulfilling and it is satisfying and it is happier when you have everything on track. But at the same time, when you don't have everything on track, it does not mean that you are not worthy enough of being happy. Therapy taught me this major thing, that I don't have to search for meaning in other things when I'm trying to be happy. Like, happiness starts with me, honestly speaking. Like, it's all here. Another thing related to the same sort of a thing is that when I was going outside, searching for meaning, searching for answers, uh, getting as much help as I can, um, I also understood this one thing, that the reality is different than my perspective. And my perspective is that, okay, like, this person is ignoring me, and maybe they just don't want to talk to me, so maybe they just want to cut me off of their life. And this was my perspective, and this has actually happened before. um, but in reality, it was more like that person was busy with their office work and all of these things, that they just couldn't have the time to get back to me, meet me, talk to me, hang out with me, and all of those things. And honestly, that's fine. Like, your perspective is going to change. Your perspective is not even close to the reality that is actually happening in real time in front of you. And people always judge things from their own perspective. They do not have this unbiased perspective going on, where they are just sitting and talking to the reality itself. And I think that therapy taught me to distinguish in both of these. I don't have to think from one perspective all the time. I can change my perspective, and I just need to bring it as close as it can to the reality that is actually happening. So, whatever is happening with you right now, it might be your perspective, it might be the reality, but try to get another perspective. Just find another perspective, because when you feel that you are in this one perspective from such a long time, you are just stuck in that perspective and you're not moving ahead. I think this is also one of the most important things that have been talked about is self-diagnosis over the internet. Like, now that digitization has taken over the world, and at one point in time you could only consult doctors for things. Now you get everything on Google. It's just one click away, and apparently everything on Google turns into cancer. I'm not sure about it, but that's what I've heard. So self diagnosis is such a harmful thing, because every person's diagnosis is different. I would say that. Like, I'm not a doctor, okay? Just putting it out there. I'm not a doctor. I don't know how to diagnose anyone. But I would say that the things that you read on the internet are half the story, and it differs person to person. Okay, that's all I'll say with when it comes to diagnosing yourself, which is very harmful, because you can create fake prescriptions online, you can do whatever you want, you can eat meds which could actually be very fatal for you, and which is very wrong for you. And relating to the same thing is that diagnosing yourself over minor inconveniences is not the thing. The last thing I would point out in this video is that people have put happiness in a box. People have put happiness as just one definition, where that you are only happy when everything is going on track. You're only happy when you are on a vacation. You're only happy when you have a dog in your life. You are only happy when you are doing good in studies, or you're working great, or you have everybody else happy around you. It's not like that. And honestly, you don't have to be happy all the time. My mom says this one thing, कि बस खुश रहा कर, and तो खुश क्यों नहीं रहती है? And my answer from the past few years to that question has been, how am I supposed to stay happy when I'm not happy? Because honestly, at one point, that is toxic positivity, that you need to be happy all the time. You have to be happy all the time. And the truth is that I just need a healthy mix of emotions. I need to be able to cope with the negative emotions. I need to be able to cope with the bad things happening in life. I need to be able to understand where happiness actually comes from or what is it, and have the power to actually define happiness on my own terms, you know. But I don't want to fit in a box where people are just like, happiness is this one thing, so I am going to chase that one thing. Because if you are in a dark place right now, you can obviously talk to people around you. You could talk to me, you could talk to anyone else, and you might get, temporary relief. But what happens in the long term? Like, what are you going to do in the long term? Like, when a situation arises again, what are you going to do then? Like, are you still going to go to your friends and your family? And that, because that's going to become like a pattern, honestly speaking. It's going to be a pattern of you depending on anybody else for help, which is not very healthy. Because what would you do if they're not present in the moment? Like, what would you do if you're in an emergency? Like, whom would you contact? Like, and I'm not even saying that in an emergency you would contact your therapist. I'm trying to tell you that in an emergency you would contact yourself. Like, spend time with yourself, try to understand what's happening with you, and try to deal with that problem at hand. And therapy teaches you how to do that. Because look, we are taught all of these different kinds of things in school, right? And I don't think anybody talks about therapy as much as right now we are talking about it. So I think at one point, therapy is something that could save you, and might, like, actually 50-60% might save you. And in the end, it's all about you being okay. I'm not even talking about you being happy, you being amazing. I'm just saying you being okay is the goal, right? So if you want to be okay, you're going to do anything it takes. And if you're not going to do anything it takes, then you are consciously deciding, you're choosing to stay in that dark place. I'm going to end this video now because I've been blabbering for the past 20 minutes, I think. But I would just like to finish off this video on this one quote that I hear all the time and I love, absolutely love it. And it's that what you don't change, you choose. So if you don't change getting out of that dark place you're in, you're choosing it. It might offend so many people out there, but I do not care. And I hope you have an amazing week. Okay? And I'll see you guys in the next video.